let me just start this. Hi everybody, we are live right now. One of the rooms, the big meeting rooms in the European Parliament. We have some special guests here from the convoy of Liberty from France, and they will be speaking in front of my colleagues. We will be broadcasting this live on my Facebook, and other people will be doing the same. So I'm gonna turn the camera now so you guys can see them and listen to them.
Okay, thank you, Christian. I'm very pleased to be there with my invited. It's a big day today because we have some representatives from the French convoy here in Strasbourg, and I introduce you these people, very, very nice, very bright, and very powerful, and I'm very pleased to be there and to share our testimony. First one, it's Maria, she's a nurse. Corinne, she's a teacher. Maître Brusa, lawyer, big lawyer, very famous.
Thank you.
And Marisa, also teacher, and she's come from the convoy for the liberty, because now, as you know, our freedom is in danger. And we are very pleased to share all the experiences because we are met and we need a testimony. Thank you again, and I'll let now to take the floor. Thank you.
Actually, it would be Marisa first.
Okay, Marisa. Thank you.
Nous portons aujourd'hui la parole de tous les citoyens et collectifs qui nous ont fait confiance, mais aussi de ceux de l'ensemble des pays européens qui n'ont pu malheureusement, pour des questions de logistique, être des nôtres. Comme vous avez pu le constater durant cette semaine, les peuples de l'Union européenne ont soif de liberté et de respect. Respect de leurs droits les plus fondamentaux, liberté d'aller et venir, de travailler et de vivre décemment de son travail. Mais surtout la volonté profonde d'offrir à leurs enfants un avenir fait d'humanité, d'égalité et de fraternité. Or, ce que nos gouvernants nationaux nous offrent aujourd'hui, c'est une société sécuritaire à outrance, où l'homme, avec un grand H, ne sera plus qu'un numéro dans une banque de données numériques. Aussi, nous vous enjoignons de respecter l'essence même de ce que pourquoi les citoyens vous ont mandaté et de prendre au plus vite toutes les mesures appropriées pour éradiquer l'ensemble des lois liberticides qui légalisent la discrimination. Nous vous exhortons à entendre cet appel. Les citoyens ont montré leur détermination à reprendre en main leur avenir, et cela se fera avec ou sans vous. Ce mouvement est une lame de fond inexorable, aujourd'hui pacifique, mais demain. Il y a un avant et un après Convoi France, car durant ce périple, chacun a repris espoir, d'autant que les forces de l'ordre ont démontré à maintes reprises leur soutien à ce mouvement pacifique. Certains gendarmes ont même pleuré de joie et d'espoir dans nos bras. Fort de son constat, le peuple français attend que des mesures concrètes et apaisantes soient prises dès à présent.
Thank you, Marisa. Who want to speak? Corinne? Thank you.
Nous portons la voix des enfants et des jeunes. Nous exigeons la fin immédiate des protocoles coercitifs et discriminants auxquels sont soumis les citoyens de demain. Nous demandons à ce Parlement de contraindre le gouvernement français à respecter les engagements pris au nom des Français, notamment pour ce qui concerne le respect de la Convention européenne des droits de l'enfant. Nous exigeons qu'au regard des études menées par des médecins, des pédopsychiatres, des sociétés pédiatriques, une étude d'impact indépendante des mesures auxquelles les enfants et les jeunes ont été soumis, notamment pour ce qui concerne le port du masque, soit menée, et que les États mettent en œuvre toutes les mesures nécessaires pour réparer et permettre à notre jeunesse de se reconstruire après ce traumatisme. Nous exigeons la restauration immédiate et définitive de l'autorité parentale des deux parents dans le respect du Code du droit familial, en particulier pour ce qui concerne les mesures inhérentes à la santé. Aucun parent n'est facultatif. Nous exigeons la fin immédiate de l'accès conditionnel à toutes les activités sportives ou culturelles, voire éducatives, c'est-à-dire la suppression immédiate des passes vaccinales ou sanitaires. Et nous exigeons l'accès inconditionnel à l'éducation, à la culture, au sport, à tout ce qui fait société. Il est urgent de restaurer les liens intergénérationnels. Une génération a été désignée dangereuse pour une autre. Les liens au sein même des familles ont été délités par un discours délétère et qui a nommé des boucs émissaires. L'urgence aujourd'hui, c'est de refaire société.
Bravo.
Bravo.
I'm Maria, I'm a nurse. It's been a few years that we've seen that our fundamental rights have been betrayed by the people that we've been elected in the hospitals, in the public health. We're suffering a lot because we can't take care of the people, of the patients properly. There is a policy, protocols that are including that we are not treating well the people that we should take care about, the elderly, the one that go to the operating room, the one that are in medical places, and we are not doing our job properly. And today we're desperately asking for the people that we've been elected with, either in France or in Europe, to listen to us, because we're suffering a lot. Our kids are suffering, and I will keep on talking in French because it's easier for me to express myself. But I would like to thank the people that accepted to receive us today, to be able to bring this this talk and what everybody feels in their homes, beside their phones, and thinking, I don't understand this word anymore. And I would like to say that my voice counts because we're in democracy. So today, aujourd'hui, nous demandons aux parlementaires européens d'obliger l'État français à respecter les fondements de notre Constitution ainsi que les textes supranationaux dont il est signataire, en supprimant le pass sanitaire et vaccinal qui conditionne l'accès aux soins des patients qui refusent de s'y soumettre et engendre de fait une discrimination d'accès à la santé. Dans une caserne, quand 8 pompiers sur 12 sont suspendus, vous regarderez votre maison brûler. Quand dans un hôpital, des soignants sont en dépression, en burn-out et ne sont plus en état de venir travailler, quand des assistantes sociales, des médico-sociaux sont écœurés de leur métier, vous n'aurez plus la qualité du soin. Et déjà aujourd'hui, vous ne l'avez plus. Alors ne tombez pas malade, mais surtout battez-vous pour notre système de santé, une vraie politique de santé publique digne de ce nom. Compter sur un seul vaccin pour résoudre tous les problèmes de santé publique, c'est une hérésie. Et aujourd'hui, nous ne faisons face à une politique qui n'est pas sanitaire, mais à une politique qui est sécuritaire. Nous demandons à l'État français de réintégrer sur le champ tous les soignants, pompiers, médico-sociaux qui ont été suspendus sans aucun traitement, privés de droits sociaux. Comment est-ce possible alors que ces gens ont donné leur vie, ils ont sacrifié leur vie au service des autres? Comment peut-on aujourd'hui les traiter de complotistes, de criminels, de fachos? Je peux vous dire que dans la ville où j'habite, à Briançon, nous avons énormément de réfugiés qui viennent, de migrants qui viennent. Nous avons des pompiers et des soignants, ça fait des années qu'ils sont au service de ces populations. Comment peut-on les traiter de fachos alors qu'ils s'occupent des gens? Comment a-t-on pu induire la discrimination dans les soins alors que notre travail en tant que soignants, les médecins doivent respecter le serment d'Hippocrate, la déontologie médicale et paramédicale enjoint de prendre soin de tous. Nous demandons une enquête concernant la collusion entre les intérêts privés et publics, notamment dans les entreprises pharmaceutiques qui, aujourd'hui, on a l'impression, décident de la politique sanitaire du monde. Aujourd'hui, le tout vaccinal, sans s'occuper des facteurs de risque, telles que l'obésité, les maladies cardiovasculaires, le diabète, qui sont les maladies chroniques qui fragilisent la population, entraînent le fait que nous avons une population qui n'est plus résiliente face aux pandémies. Nous devons donc mettre en œuvre tout ce qu'il faut pour créer une vraie politique de santé publique et lutter contre la malbouffe, contre le sucre et contre les facteurs qui engendrent des problèmes cardiovasculaires. Nous demandons également une enquête sur les effets secondaires. Quand nous avons l'Agence nationale de sécurité du médicament qui relate 24% d'effets secondaires graves et que cela n'émeut ni les corporations médicales, ni les associations, ni les parlementaires, mais quelle honte! Nous avons aujourd'hui une situation qui est décidée au niveau européen où il y a un passeport sanitaire et l'identité numérique qui se mettent en place. Nous changeons de paradigme de société. La plupart des citoyens qui sont allés dans le convoi n'en veulent pas. Ces lois sont décidées sans notre consentement, sans même que nous soyons informés. Si vous demandez autour de vous si les gens se rendent compte de ce qui est en train de se mettre en place avec l'identité numérique, ils ne le savent même pas. Donc nous avons aujourd'hui des parlementaires, des députés et des gouvernants qui décident d'un projet de société dans lequel nous n'avons pas été inclus dans la décision. D'autres pandémies surviendront. Nous avons d'autres moyens de pouvoir lutter. Écoutez-nous, nous sommes des professionnels de terrain. Nous avons des solutions à vous apporter. La démocratie, elle doit être participative. La démocratie représentative, aujourd'hui, elle nous a trahis. Donc, si jamais vous ne nous écoutez pas, démocratiquement, nous reprendrons le pouvoir. Et le monde de demain, il se fera avec ou sans vous.
Bravo.
Merci.
Well done. Thank you again. And the last, no, not the last.
The last.
Not the least.
Prima di tutto, ciao Romania. Ciao Romania, lo dico in italiano perché in Romania ci sono molti che parlano italiano e poi la nostra lingua è molto vicina. Ciao for Romania, for the few Romanian people that is the last people in Europe. They have to fight against the totalitarianism. And I am very happy. Thank you, Christian, for your job in this parliament. We are the parliament. I am happy to be here for the meeting that we make with friends from the Convoy France. They give the voice of people. And the voice of people is here in this parliament. And it's most important because it's the European Parliament that represents all people of Europe. And the problem is the Europe institution, they make a decision for all people in Europe, but the European people is divided, is not unit. It's most important that the occasion that we have to be here today is the occasion to explain for all people all over the world, all over in Europe, it's necessary that the people have to be a change in democracy is not only in our country, because the decision here, it's here in the Parliament, in the Commission in Brussels, and it's most important that the people, French nurse, Italian nurse, Romanian, have the possibilities to talk about. Because if we want to change something in Europe, thank you for your job, but it's most important that the people is with you, because the democracy is not only the moment that you make, you go to the election, and after 5 years, you don't think about. It's necessary to spend our time to be with you all the time, because it's necessary that you are not alone in this parliament. You represent the people, and the people to be with you. Not all the time, it's impossible, but this is very good occasion that we have today. Thank you for this invitation. Thank you that this parliament, with you, with your intervention, opened the door, and we have the possibility to explain that we fight for freedom. We not fight against Macron. We not fight against this power, because they change, but the situation, the political is the same. We want to change this political. That is not a political for the people. It's a political for the big firm in the world. It's a political for the pharmaceutical firm, for the data firm. We want to be human. We are subject of the law. We are subject of the rights, not the object of rights. I want to be Carlo Alberto Brusa human, and Christian, and Romanian people, Italian, French. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you again. And now the last word is for Mr. Christian Terres, and thank you again to be there with us because...
Sorry. The last word is for you, Christian, and thank you again to be there with us because it's very important to share, and because also in Romania they are not alone. In France it's the same nightmare, and also we are with the people from Romania. Thank you.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for being here. It's a great honor for us. That's okay. You know. This is me here speaking, so it's okay. Again, thank you so much for being here. I think it's very important, everything that you guys are doing. When we started the press conference in the European Parliament in November of last year, we were a handful of people. But after every press conference, we received every day thousands and thousands of emails. We got to a point where, and I have to use this opportunity to apologize to people who emailed me and emailed my colleagues, and we were not able to answer. I mean, it's impossible. That's how many messages we received. And that's when we, not because we knew it before, but to listen directly from the voice of the people and who were complaining to us about, you know, the green certificate and how it's affecting them, and that people are coerced, you know, forced, conditioned, you know, to be vaccinated in order to exercise their basic fundamental rights. You know, we all said this is not the kind of Europe that we want to live in.
Certainly.
And this was never envisioned. I mean, this is what somebody else did during the Second World War. You know, this is not the kind of Europe that we want to live in. So, as you know, as you mentioned, you know, we don't want to be the object of the law. We want to be the subject of the law. So, again, thank you so much for everything that you guys are doing. It's a great honor to have you here. I want to use this opportunity, you know, to thank my colleague for doing all the administrative work, you know, and keeping in touch with you and bringing you over. Another colleague of mine,
Yes.
Robert Ross,
Thank you.
just walked in right now, you know, from another meeting.
Thank you.
So I don't want to lecture you guys because it's actually you who should lecture us. Maybe not us in this room, but us as a parliament. Because for a very long time, elected officials here by the people forgot the fact that they are elected for the people.
Yeah.
And in order to be elected for the people, you should never ever forget that you should listen to what people have to tell you. But see, there are two words in English, in Romanian, and I'm sure you have the same thing in French. To listen and to hear.
Yes.
In order to listen, you have to make your voice heard. You have to say something. And for many generations, I would say for decades, everything that was related to freedom, liberty, democracy was not properly heard, I would say. So now the regular people all across Europe are raising up, are speaking up, are making their voice heard, which is very important. You know, so you guys are the representatives, you know, of this convoy, and you know, we wanna reassure you, I would say, that we are here for you, and not only that we will hear your voice, but we will also be listening to your voice.
Thank you.
And since this was more like an ad hoc meeting, you know, it was not something scheduled from ahead of time, I will have some questions that I want to address you, because I'm sure a lot of people that are watching right now, we have like 2,000 people watching live right now instantly, and I'm sure this live is going to go all over the place and it will be broadcasted by other people. But before I ask you the questions, you know, I will like to ask my colleague, you know, Robert Ross, in case, you know, he wants to share some thoughts with you. You're live.
Yes, thank you, Robert, to be there, because you know, it was difficult to organize something well, but at least you are there with us, and it's very important for the French, for the Romanian people also, Romanians, and to share your experience and to support also, I think, this convoy, because you met some people in Brussels too, and I don't know if you know Roberto, but he's very famous also in this parliament against all these nightmares, as you know, and I'm very happy to now to give the floor to Robert Roos, and you can share all the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Virginie, and also thank you, Christian. What we're facing right now is a time where we had a difficult time with the pandemic. Everyone was scared in the beginning, but after a while it was clear that it was mostly the elderly people, 70 plus, who are, who should be dangerous of this virus. And we are now for 2 years in this pandemic, and the restrictions on the people are getting tighter and tighter all the time. While we know a lot about this virus at this moment, and we should have experience and work with this. But now a lot of people in the European Union has their vaccination 2 times, sometimes 3 times. Still we wear the mask. Still in my country we had a lockdown again. It was devastating for the small businesses. It was devastating for the young people at schools, depressive, even a lot of young people who had thoughts of suicide, etc. And there are governments that are still pushing very hard to for new measures. For example, Italy, France, Germany, Austria, Greece, and it's incredible. I met a lot of your, let's call it colleagues, but the same people who are also into this protest yesterday on a parking place on my way to Strasbourg. And I also told them it's incredible that we are here in France, and the president of France, Mr. Macron, said an irresponsible person is no longer a citizen. And that is incredible for a president to say that, because he should serve all the people in his country, all the people, and not only the vaccinated, because it's a free choice, and it should be a free choice. I'm not against vaccination. I think it worked, especially for the vulnerable people, but it should be a free choice. You cannot push people to have this. Especially now the young people, because they took it not because they felt unsafe, but there was a narrative. It's to protect your grandmother.
Yes.
That was the vaccine was never tested for that. It was a false narrative. And still, these governments are pushing. And, well, let me say, we are here in France, and to the people in France, you have to go out for a vote in April. Remember this, because you should vote for a president who serves you all. And I'm here to support you. I think it's my task to, as a representative of the people, we should represent the people. And I also ask that to all my colleagues here in the parliament. And we should fight for this together. And I'm here to support you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
The last word is for you, Christian.
Well, I have some questions for you guys, because I'm sure, there's thousands of people that are watching us right now. Even ask a question if they have any specific questions for you. So, because this is recorded live right now, it's more like a public statement that will be on record to remain for generations. So the first question that I want to address to you is, in case each one of you can answer in English, if it's possible, if not the two of you can answer on behalf of the whole group. How exactly affected you as a regular citizen all of these restrictive measures, in particular the green certificate, that was imposed on you by the European Union and by your national government?
Tu veux
That's a
répondre?
question for you.
Non, tu peux, après je dirai le droit.
In fact, it's
Can you step on, press
Yeah,
the
press that
button?
image.
Cool.
it was really evident that we had to fight for our rights, for our fundamental rights, for freedom, for the possibility for our children to take, to be able to see his parents or his grandparents without being frightened. For our young people, 20 years old, to take a train or a plane to see the world without showing a pass, without having been obliged to accept a treatment that he knows that it's not for his health. In fact, there's not only one young people of 20 years old who told me that he was frightened by the disease. Nobody has accepted this injection because he was frightened by the COVID. They all made it, in spite of their fears sometimes, but they all made it to be free. That's completely incredible, unbearable. In all the countries of Europe where human rights are defended by laws, how can we accept that? We are mothers, daughters, sisters. We were not prepared at all to be here today. Not really, I swear.
Perfect.
We live completely normally. We are nobody, in fact, really nobody. Just this suffering, these injunctions, these orders, these paradoxal orders are today unbearable. And we have really our mission, if we have a mission, that's only to tell that we have the devoir, the obligation to protect our children, our young people, the citizens of tomorrow, in fact, the future citizens. What kind of society are we showing them today? A society where we are frightened to tell that we are not against vaccines, we are not complotists, we are not such people, we are not only fighters, in fact, at the beginning, that we became perhaps fighters in the respect of the law, of course, just because all this is now impossible to accept. Yes, it's unbearable. We want freedom for our children. They can't only go to the library. They can't even go to play the music in the conservatories without giving a pass. Is it acceptable? I don't accept that. We don't accept that. And we've seen so much people along the road who told us that they don't accept either. That's what we are here.
Et si nous sommes ici, si nous sommes aujourd'hui parmi vous, si nous avons fait le trajet, c'est que nous avons de l'espoir, comme nous l'avons eu pendant tout le convoi. L'espoir qu'à défaut d'avoir été entendu au niveau national, nous le serons auprès de vous, nos députés européens, car nous ne voulons pas vivre ainsi. Et je pense que tous les mouvements qui se lèvent aujourd'hui, Convoy France et dans les autres pays, reflètent bien notre volonté commune de nous retrouver et de nous tourner vers un autre monde, et pas celui que nos élus nous préparent. Et j'avoue ne pas comprendre comment vous, députés européens, acceptez que nos constitutions nationales ou même les conventions internationales qui ont été signées par tous les États, comme la Convention internationale des droits de l'homme, des droits de l'enfant, excusez-moi, ne soient pas respectées. Et nous aimerions vraiment comprendre ceci, comment nos députés européens ne veillent pas à ce que les lois qu'ils ont édictées ne soient pas respectées dans les États membres.
Beaucoup de choses ont été dites. So I want to take three points. First of all, if you don't have a respect of the legislative, executive, and judiciary power, and also information power, we don't have a democracy. We have the parliament, European, French, Italian. We have the executive, government. We don't have a judge. We don't have a judge. If you don't have a judge in democracy, you don't have a republic. Because you make sometimes law. Other make some reglement, some rule. But if you don't have a, comment dire, arbitre, the arbitration between all this power, you don't have democracy. S'il n'y a pas un équilibre des pouvoirs, il n'y a pas de démocratie. Today, it's necessary, I think I want to suggest something. It's necessary that we have a real European judge. They try to make a no law, the right, the difference between law and right. Law is a part of right. And a judge make arbitration between power and the citizen. Because you go in all over the country, in Europe, many times, Conseil d'État, Consiglio di Stato, Italian judiciary administrative, they make many trials in France, 6,000 trials. We have 5 decisions for the citizen, but small decision. 2 days, 3 days before to put to the death in the crematory, the number of people in the church, stupid decision. All case against Green Pass, against all discrimination in our society, we are ejected. Go out, no problem. The government make a very good job because they defend your health, because the health is right in the points 11 in the preamble of the Constitution 46. At the same points, you have health and le repos, le loisir. C'est incredible, but they read all the health. Ils ne regardent pas les loisirs. Ça veut dire que we are in a situation now with the health, you have the possibility to do everything. I don't know, and finish on the third point, when we go. I don't know, because I don't want to be complotist. I am a lawyer, a president, and an association with 1,100 people, 100,000. You don't have any party in France, in Italy, I don't know, in Romania, if you have 100,000 adhérents. 1,000, no, comment dit 100,000 in English? 100,000 people is so much. And we have
To support you.
they support me. That Macron doesn't have 100,000 persons, they support him. And is the chief of the French democracy. We are, I want to say, is not the war against, we don't fight against Macron. But the problem, if we support this kind of system, we don't change our democracy. Because all people, when they give quand ils sont dans les vêtements de la Cinquième République, when they are in the French institution, all people is well. Because you became a king for 5 years and more 5 years. Et ça, c'est un point très important. Si on ne introduit pas de la démocratie, we don't put democracy, the people. I want to finish for this example. In France, we have a cour d'assises for the criminal trial. Is a jury, is a tribunal with jury. 9 people are chosen to judge very important case, criminal, pedophile, death, murder. People have the possibilities to make a decision in the very criminal, important case, and we don't have the possibilities to go in the different institution of the democracy, because the situation change if the people have the possibility to go to the Conseil constitutionnel or the Italian court, because they make our minestrone as he like. But if the people have the possibilities, if the people have the possibilities to be here, from Italy, from Romania, from Spain, to come here in the parliament to explain your job, to see if you work really, if you defend the people, and not to forget the people. Because all people say one thing, you, and forget the deputy, that when you are deputy, it's finished. You forget the people. You arrive in the institution, is well, you are happy, you have a car, you have many 5, 6, 7,000 euro for every month, and after people, it's finished. I'm sorry, but you want to know what is that people say outside. I want to say here, not to because I say thank you, you received us, but it's most important that you don't remember the position of the people outside.
And we don't fight against anything or anyone.
Absolutely.
We fight for the freedom and the health
Absolutely.
of our children. That really has to be clear. We fight only for
Mais si on ne place pas de la démocratie quand même et on ne le rappelle pas
and
qu'aujourd'hui,
for democracy, of course.
sorry.
Just a question and ask the MEPs what they think. You mentioned the whole thing about democracy, the importance of democracy, but I would ask how many, it is impossible to have a democracy without a demos, without a people with a shared language and history and culture. And for instance, you talked about the need for a republic. Well, my name is Henry Kelly, I'm from the Irish Republic, and because of EU membership at the minute, in matters of EU competence, the EU law is superior to Irish law, to the Irish Constitution, and to the Irish Supreme Court at the minute. And for someone who believes that the nation is like the extended family, and that the family home is like the nation state, that the transfer of huge powers to the European Union has allowed people who are distant from us, who we cannot vote for, who we cannot get rid of, from other countries across the European Union. They have come up with this EU Vax Pass. They've imposed it upon the whole of the European, all peoples of the European Union, and yet the peoples within that country, for example, in the Netherlands and France, in Romania and Ireland, cannot, on their own, get rid of this EU Vax Pass because we've given great powers to people we can't get rid of, huge power. So could I ask the 3 MEPs, do they think that situation is a good situation, or should we seek more power for people in our own countries and have more democratic control?
I try to respond. The first, because yes, we have to leave this room, and I'm really sure. I think you're right. The power is not now in member states; it's here. And the problems at the member states follow the political can from the Commission. As you know now, von der Leyen says at all the states that they have to think about the vaccination for all the people, obligatory vaccination. I think the idea came from the Commission, and after that the member states, like a draft, work on these ideas. But I think they are both together to put all these certificates, all this vaccination together. Because I think yes, democracy. You think it's democracy in a member state. You make a vote, but also at the same time they take the idea, they take the draft from the Commission. In France, you have the same point with the pension. All the point about my pension came from the Commission, and that's a problem for France because Macron, and as you know, is now on the presidency of the Council, and it's worst thing because it's like the equality from von der Leyen, and also they are together like that to cross the finger, to cross the hand, to work and to build something with all the idea from the Commission. And it's very difficult, a big danger for the French people, because as you know, you have a big agenda with identity, digital identity, the certificate until the next year, and it will be, nobody knows about this, about more one year, because we have to vote this during this 2 months later, and it will be a big point for the French people, and also I think for the other states. And thank you for this question. Answer. Thank you.
Je voudrais dire une chose. I want to say something. I was in Italy, in Palermo, not this Saturday, last Saturday, and a mother with a young girl, 8 years old, they want to go to the toilets because we was 5,000, 10,000 people in the Piazza Verdi, Palermo, and they try to find in the bar the toilets. She doesn't have the super green pass. In Italy, it's a super green pass, vaccine and establishment. And one bar said, no, you don't have a super green pass, not possible. Second bar said, no, you don't have the possibility to go to the toilet because you don't have the super green pass. They call the policeman. No. They say, you try to find another bar. They have a good reason. You don't have a super green pass. You don't go to the toilet. And the young girl's 8 years old. She made pee-pee in the street. This is the situation in Italy. This is the situation in one of the most important countries in Europe with history from Rome. And we are in this situation. And when you have this example, you understand that the situation is very terrible. You go in Italy, you want to buy something, you have to present the super green pass. You go to buy something for the clothes, for everything. It's completely crazy. And I was afraid when I come back in France. More. It's a 22 miles a day fight, but I was very, very afraid. Sorry.
Thank you. We have to be quick because we have to
1
leave
minute.
the room.
Yeah. Yes.
I will give a quick response on your question about the democracy. Democracy is the freedom to choose. That is democracy. And at this point, Omicron is the dominant strain, and that's not dangerous anymore. Yeah. So it is not logical to go on with all these restrictions. It is even so that this vaccine was not produced for this strain. It doesn't work, only for a couple of weeks. And it doesn't prevent the spread. They say you take the vaccine for your grandmother. They said that they told us, our children, I'm a father too. You have to take the vaccine to protect your grandmother. It doesn't work. So it's a false narrative.
Absolutely.
It doesn't make any sense. It does not protect, it does not prevent the spread, and Omicron is not dangerous anymore. the European Union wants to continue, wants to extend the EU DCC, and that's transformed in France and Italy, in Austria.
Because, sorry, the end is not to protect the health. Is another final cut. Is another final cut, because now we understand it's not to protect the health.
It's not about healthcare anymore.
Absolutely.
It's about controlling.
Absolutely.
People, and we should end this immediately.
Because before they tried to make a submission for the brain submission psychologically, and the vaccine is a physical submission. It's the same of the people in Rome, they go in the ship, there was a physical submission. But now was necessary not submission with obligatory vaccine, but the submission is not obligatory, and they try to make a vaccine because you accept this. And when you accept the vaccine that is not obligatory, you are in real psychological and physical submission. Okay.
The last word is for Christian, and we have to leave. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much. It was a great discussion. I think it's the first this kind of discussion that we had in the European Parliament, but clearly it's not going to be the last one. I think we just opened the door right now for more debates like this, and we are looking forward to hear more what the European citizens have to say, because as we said, we were elected by the people, but we should not forget that we are elected here for the people. Thank you so much again. We'll keep the
Thank you very much. Thank you. And we come back as you like it, also in Romania. Thank you.
Everybody has to stand up. I'm not even the woman.
Au revoir à tout le monde.
All our place.
Au revoir à tout le monde. Au revoir à tout le monde. Je vais rejoindre maintenant Michel Rivasi. Voilà, vous avez une belle séance en direct ici au Parlement européen à Strasbourg. Je vous embrasse, à tout à l'heure.